Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday night, how I overcame my food addiction and lost weight with Jason Whitener. My name is Jason Whitener. This is Amanda Whitener, and we're going to share a little bit about Shibboleth with you tonight. First, let me introduce myself. I am a Shibboleth mentor. I have been a Shibboleth weight loss instructor since early 2015. I've been living the Shibboleth lifestyle since 2013, lost over 100 pounds. I have been able to keep it off successfully with this wonderful weight loss program. But tonight is a special night because I have a Shibboleth superstar with me. I am going to let her tell her story. It's going to be fun. I get to interview my wife. This is actually something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. And Amanda's thrilled, not near as thrilled as I am. Hopefully you'll be as thrilled. Listen, if you're watching this on Facebook, give me a share. Get this out there to the masses. Listen, it's important that we share our successes, our failures. But most of all, you guys, I want to let you know, I'll let you in on a secret. Shibboleth is a way of life. And we live this as a couple. See, we're going to hold hands under the desk right here while we're doing this. She's not nervous at all. I'm the one that gets nervous. She's got nerves of steel. Listen, Shibboleth is a lifestyle for everybody, and I think that's one reason why I think Amanda is such a superstar. It's because she sees people every day come in and get excited about Shibboleth because they lose a lot of weight, and they have this great story about how they got this big size and lost all this weight. And Amanda's story is different, and I think it's important because there's lots and lots of women, men, even children out there that have similar predicaments that Amanda has had, but has lived through. And I think her story of hope is one that it's resounding, it's special, and it's going to bless your socks off. So I'm going to start out by asking Amanda to just introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself, where she's from and what she does. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's so good to see you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and what you do? Let everybody get to know you a little bit.
Okay, well, my name is Amanda Whitener, and I am from Dalton, Georgia. I actually work for a mat manufacturing company as a customer service manager, but I've been living the Shibboleth lifestyle since June the 1st of 2015. Actually learned about the program from one of the ladies that works for me. I just pretty much watched her drop pounds, and I was very curious, and I wanted to know what she was doing. And she wasn't the only one in our office that was doing Shibboleth. Others were doing it too, but I seen the most success from her. And I actually had heard about the program a couple of years before that from one of my friends who lives in South Carolina. And she was telling me about this program. She pronounced it however she pronounced it, probably Shibboleth. And I was like, what in the world are you talking about? I didn't even know. I just totally let it go in one ear and out the other because I wasn't interested because she lived, and I couldn't see the change in her. But my friend at work, I could see the change in her. So then I became interested.
Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. And I've got a whole list of questions here. This is neat because when my wife shares stuff, she's gonna tell y'all everything you need to know. And let me make sure that I get that in there. Tell us a little bit about have you always needed to lose weight, wanted to lose weight? Is weight loss something that's been an issue for you your whole life?
No, not really. I thought I was fat in high school, but I wasn't fat in high school. But I've always kind of been one. I've tried lots of different diets. I've tried Weight Watchers. I did Atkins. I did Ditkins. Atkins Weight Loss here in Dalton. I did low carb. I did a little bit of South Beach. So I kind of did a little bit of everything because I always just needed to lose 10 pounds.
10
I always
pounds.
just, and when I came
So-
to Shibboleth, it was 10 pounds.
So it's about 10 pounds. So 10 pounds can be a profound thing, I would say. What's the difference in Amanda needing to lose 10 pounds and having 10 pounds gone? What does that translate to in your clothes size? What does that translate into in your self-confidence? What does 10 pounds mean to you?
Well, I felt better when I lost a little bit of weight. And like I said, I did come into Shibboleth, and when I came in, the people, actually, I'll tell you a little bit about my story. You might not even need those questions. But when I did learn about Shibboleth from one of my coworkers. And so but I was very skeptical. I'm a very skeptical person. Like, yeah, okay, might work for you, but it's probably not going to work for me, but I'm going to go see what it's about. So at that time in Dalton, Shibboleth was doing grocery store tours every Saturday, and then also several classes at the Dalton Center at that time. So I drugged my daughter to a grocery store tour at Kroger, Walnut Avenue here in Dalton one Saturday morning, and Tyler and Jasmine were actually leading the tour. And so we just kind of walked around, and my daughter's like, what are we doing here? And I'm like, oh, we're just going to listen and see what we can learn. So we just kind of walked around, and it became very apparent to me very quickly that you could eat regular food.
Oh.
And I like that. I like that you could eat regular food. Now, I didn't really like the fact that it was, kind of go easy on fruit, because at that time, everything I ate was fruit, because I thought fruit was really healthy. And that's just one of the things. I'd probably eat 5 servings of fruit a day with every meal and for a snack, because I really liked fruit and I enjoyed it, and it was low calorie, and, so I thought it was good for you. So that's what I was doing. But anyway, we go on the grocery store tour, and I'm like, okay, maybe they got me. So that was Saturday. Well, there was a class on Monday mornings at 10:30. So I actually made a decision to take my lunch, because I can take lunch pretty much whenever I need to in my office. So I made a decision I was going to go to class on Monday morning at 10:30. So I sat through the class. Tyler or Jasmine, one was teaching. I don't remember who. But there was a special. It was like 8 weeks for $50 or $60, $59.99 maybe. I don't know. There was a special going on, and then there was a year. You could buy a year for $149, $199. Again, I don't remember. That was 2015. All I know is I thought, okay, I'll do it for 8 weeks. It's not going to work for me. I'm going to sign up.
Very similar to my story right there.
I'm going to sign up. I'm going to try this. And so I did. I went to class. I signed up. And after I signed up, I got weighed and measured, and they're like, you really don't need to lose any weight. And I'm like, oh, no, I really do. And then I'm like, well, what do I do now? Because I didn't have a clue what to do. I'm here. I signed up on a grocery store tour. I paid my money, but now what do I do? So one of those guys told me, watch your daily doses. That's what I did. That was a Monday. That next weekend, I watched all my daily doses, took the test, blah, 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 blah. Because I was just like a sponge. I just wanted to know more and more and more. And
wait a minute. Let me ask you about that.
No, because I got to tell this. I hope Travis is watching, because I could not stand to hear the voice, the sound of Travis's voice in those daily doses on the first ones. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get through this. But then after about the third or fourth one, I'm like, man, I love this guy. He's so funny. And it's just, I just want to watch him. My family thought I had joined the cult. They thought I'd gone crazy.
So when you say you absorbed it like a sponge, what you're saying is you got in there in the website, and the more you looked, the more you wanted to learn, the more you kept looking, and the more you got out of it.
Oh yeah, because I knew myself, and very early on, I knew I was a snacker. I knew I was a grazer. So first thing I did was I started looking at freebies, figuring out all the freebies I could eat whenever I wanted to eat them.
Freebies are important.
And I then looked at foods where you can have large portions. Not that I eat large portions. It's just I wanted what I wanted, and I wanted all of it. I would not eat it all, but I could have it. So I was good with that. And snacks. I was a snacker. So I wanted to have the snacks. And back then you could have the sugar-free Klondike bar, which was my snack every night. And I didn't have a lot of weight to lose. And I was coming to the center every Saturday morning for class. It didn't matter. I might have missed 5 classes the first year that I joined Shibboleth, but I was here every Saturday morning and some of the classes during the week because I felt like it was important, even though it was the same lesson every Saturday morning. It was the same lesson. I knew all the punchlines, but I still learned because there were always new members that were coming asking questions. So I still learned from those new members and the fellowship.
So questions are important.
Yes.
Right. So take note, you Shibboleth citizens that might be watching this on the side. The more classes you attend, whether you're attending the same class or not, when a question comes up in your mind and you think this is a really unique interview because I've got some stuff to show you in a minute that's really, it may surprise some, it may just re-energize some, but Amanda will ask poignant questions in class to get the right message across. And it's not, Amanda's not exclusive to that type of question. That's in everybody, whether you think it's a question you already know the answer to or not, Pat, when you ask a question in class and Jim or Kim or I or Travis or anybody hears that question, more than likely there's going to be someone that needs to hear the answer to that question. And through going outside maybe the structured lesson and teaching on those answers, those question answers, we've developed a lot of criteria, and Amanda is a very, she's good at getting the right message out of me, especially, and others.
Well, and I like to pick things apart, you know, because you were definitely not one of my favorite instructors because you were kind of black and white, and I always liked the gray area. And the gray area for me was something like you could have 4 cups of Skinny Pop as a snack and I don't know, 2 or 3 packs of those Choco Rights. So if I was going to the theater, I might bag me up 2 cups of Skinny Pop and 1 pack of Choco Rights. And that was my snack because I could have half and half. And whoop, 1 and 1 made 1. I mean, half and half made 1. So I was good to go. And it worked for me. Don't do what I did, but it worked for me. And I always push the line. Yes, Travis, I'm one of those. I always push the line, but it did work for me because I learned the program and I learned that Jason got so sick of hearing me say, I can go anywhere and eat perfect Dutch with Shibboleth. I can go anywhere and eat perfect. But I can if I want to. If I want to, I can. My son played soccer in high school and I was having a perfect day and I had nothing to eat and I did not eat before the game and it was going late and I was hungry. I ate one of those big circus pickles and boiled peanuts was my dinner of 6+2 at the ball field. You can eat perfect anywhere.
That's a great testimony right there as well. And if any of you know soccer season, it's not always easy to eat hot boiled peanuts and a cold pickle when it's about 35 degrees outside. And anyway, I think that's an awesome testimony in itself. Let me change gears just a minute, because before I get into the beyond your initial experience in Shibboleth, can you tell me maybe what some of your go-to recipes were when you first got started? Maybe something that your kids would eat with you, or did they eat anything with you when you first got started? Kind of tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, there were a lot of, like I said, when I first started, I did have, my kids were younger and we were involved in a lot of sports and things like that. So, and I worked full time. So we did a lot of crock pot meals. Which was very easy for me. Although my oldest son, he didn't eat anything mixed up like that, but we would just do something different for him. But I can't even remember all the names now. It's just a lot, but there's a recipe on there. It's called swamp soup or something like that. I don't think we've ever eaten it before, but it's greens with like the kielbasa sausage and some season. It's really good. And my kids, well, 2 of my 3 kids like that. And then we also had like the Mexican chicken that was corn with chicken, the chili, the cream cheese chicken chili. That was also another one of our favorites. As far as me though, my family didn't eat Shibboleth with me. I was the only one, and I was very successful because I had made my mind up. That's what I was doing. And because I saw results immediately, it was easy for me to stick to. I married the lifestyle.
There you go.
Obviously. I married the lifestyle, but but it was easy for me to stick to. And like I said, they thought I was crazy. We were having baked potatoes, and they were having baked potatoes one night. And one of my kids handed me a fork that they had cut their potato with because I needed a knife or something. And I'm like, I can't use that. That's got potato on it.
Now, that little testimony will tell you just how strict she is, or was at least, when she got into the Shibboleth lifestyle. No wonder they thought she joined a cult. She couldn't even use a knife that had cut a potato. That's
But my favorite meals were always peanut butter. That was always, I mean, category 6, my favorite category, hands down. Doesn't matter. But peanut butter toast was my go-to breakfast. I ate that forever. I would, on Saturday mornings, I would not eat or drink anything because that was my way day at the center. And I would barely wear, I'd wear the lightest weight clothes I could. It was bad. I had a problem. But I would bring my breakfast, which on Saturday mornings was always bran crisp bread with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter.
measured out.
Yeah. And it tastes real good. Bran crisp bread with peanut butter on it. Without, not so good. But I would eat after I would weigh every Saturday morning.
Right.
So, but peanut butter was really a lot of my go-to. Although I tried everything because I looked at a lot of recipes. I would try different recipes, maybe one a week. But since my family wasn't on board, I found I was wasting a lot. So, excuse me, I was much better just to do like one of the stuff that I would eat.
Okay. And have you found, I guess, what was your favorite restaurant to go to early on for convenience? I'm gonna guess in my head without interjecting.
I don't think you're going to guess this, but I can name a couple. I love to go to Chick-fil-A and get either the fried chicken fillet or 8 nuggets. Take my own tortilla wrap, which I always carried in my purse. And at that time, Chick-fil-A had light mayonnaise, which was great. They don't anymore, but they had light mayonnaise. And so I would get it with extra, and I would get a side of pickles. And I love to do the Chick-fil-A, the chicken wrap with pickles and mayonnaise. And that was delicious. I haven't done this in forever, but I used to go to Taco Bell a lot because my kids like to go to Taco Bell, and I would just get a side of pintos and cheese and put that in a tortilla. Tortillas were my best friend. They were. And that's another thing, that I always had a survival kit with me. I always had tortillas in my purse. I always had a bottle of water, if not 2, in my purse. I always had biscotti, which we don't offer anymore, in my purse. I always had a protein bar in my purse. I might have chips in there too. Who knows?
You wonder how big her purse is, right?
But I always had that survival kit. I mean, I can remember my whole family met at Olive Garden one time, and I was in the middle of one of Travis's challenges. And so everybody was eating Olive Garden salad, bread, pasta, everything else. And I was eating my mint chocolate chip Quest bar.
I hope y'all are taking notes. There's a lot of good stuff here.
And I didn't think I was suffering at that time. You know?
You weren't. You weren't. Obviously you weren't. So no Subway. Subway wasn't a go-to.
Oh yeah, I do like Subway. I got the bread out. Yes, I do like Subway. But I don't do that a whole lot anymore. But yes, I do love Subway.
Well, I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna go unorthodox for a minute. I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of history of Amanda. First, let me say this. So before I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Here is a picture of the gang. This is the whole gang. Here's Amanda, and this is in the old days. This is back in 2015. You've got Jasmine and Tyler in here. Here's Lisa. A bunch of these are all of our volunteers and some staff members. This is a rare visit for me in Dalton at the time. I used to teach in Kennesaw, but this is an awesome group of people from the Shibboleth family. Amanda had already transitioned from her weight loss mode into what she has become, which is a Shibboleth volunteer and a giver of herself and her time and her heart to Shibboleth people. So from the very beginning, Amanda has been giving back. This is another picture of, yes, you are.
Oh,
there you are right there.
Oh, I am in that one.
There you are right there. You see, I pulled these out special. This is obviously from wintertime, and you'll notice some more Shibboleth superstars in here. I see Miss Cleo and Jeanette and some more of my great friends here. But obviously this is from 2016, a little later on. This is at our old Dalton Care Center. Here's a picture from Kennesaw, where
Cartersville.
I'm sorry, Cartersville. This is Amanda and I had actually gone down, and she got to meet the great Joe Hyatt. He has set several Shibboleth records for weight loss, but obviously she's loved by all. Joe's given her some attention, and it's a great time. Here's Cindy and Amanda sitting on the old freezer in the back room, in the back of class at the old center as well in Dalton. Here's Amanda volunteering in Salty Daisy, Tennessee. She has got the cash register out. She's fixing to check some members out and some prospective members, I'm sure, buying product, giving back to the Shibboleth community. Here's Cindy and Amanda twinning. I called them twinning. They got the memo. They were twinning in their pants color and their shirts. This was an awesome day in Dalton. And I wanted to catch that on film. And then here's a picture of our awesome family. This is my mother and Amanda's oldest son, Adam. And here's me, of course, and Amanda. This is Amanda's youngest son, Seth, and her daughter, Shelby. This is Alyssa, Seth's girlfriend. This is Megan, Amanda's stepdaughter, and this is Aunt Joni. I thought it was neat to get a picture of our family in there together. This was at Seth's 18th birthday. You can tell he's excited. But I'll get to that in a minute. But watch this. Here's Amanda and her weight loss. This is Amanda before. Obviously, she's got her regular Coke here. And this purse won't hold a survival kit. As you can see, it won't even hold a letter. But this purse probably has a survival kit in it, and maybe have a gallon of water in there. And this is a deadly weapon. That
was not my Coke. I was actually at my niece's high school graduation, and that's when the Coke had the name on them. And my niece's name is Devon, Devon, and they were having the hardest time trying to find her a Coke with her name on it. And that Coke had her name on it. We found it in a convenience store on the way over to Huntsville.
Now I would say that same thing too if it was me, but
I'm not a soda drinker. Water was very easy for me.
Water is easy. She's a great water drinker. She's actually an excellent water drinker. Well, I don't want to keep everybody forever. I'm having an excellent time, but I do want to ask this. What motivates you to continue living the Shibboleth lifestyle other than you married the Shibboleth guy from Dalton?
What motivates me is that it works. It's something that I found to be very sustainable. I might have said that earlier, but that's why I continue to do it, because it is easy and it works. I'll go ahead and tell on myself. Earlier this year, I thought I was going to try something a little different. I was a little tired of just doing the same old, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to jump on the keto van. I want me some fat.
Yeah,
listen. Not like fat. I don't like fat on steak or anything like that. I can't stand to get that in my mouth and eat it. But
testify, girl, testify.
Like I wanted
tell them about it.
Some real Parmesan cheese, some full fat Parmesan cheese, and I wanted some bacon, and I wanted some. I don't know what all I wanted, but the keto was not for me. I didn't like trying to figure it out. I didn't like trying to get into ketosis. I didn't like the fact that I went to the doctor in April after doing keto for a couple months and not having any success, yo-yoing. And my cholesterol's up. So now I'm working on my cholesterol, and I know doing Shibboleth, my cholesterol will be fine.
Never had a cholesterol problem.
No.
Testimony time. I didn't do the keto with her. I sat out there. I ate my little peanut butter jelly. I just said, girl, you just go on and cook that bacon and eat it. It'll be good. She go, baby, that bacon's good. And she ate it. Oh man, it was a good time. It was a great experience because I got to learn through her. This is another awesome experience we shared together, because I didn't know Amanda when she started. I was working in Kennesaw at the time, and she lost her weight before I didn't experience that driven, studying, obsessed, diving in portion that she explained to y'all, but I saw her do it with keto. And it was a little crazy. It was a little crazy. But it's like she locked in, and she learned it, and she did listen. We went to Sam's, and she was saying, that's keto, this keto, that's keto. I was like, ah, and she just pointing this stuff out. But Lord, we bought a bunch of that stuff, and we didn't eat a lot of it. We still have some of it. We passed off. A lot of it was good. A lot of it, she's like, this is good. It tastes good. But the results, y'all, the results, when we tell you, I'm gonna take over for half a second, baby. When we tell you that we've got it all figured out, when we tell you that it's a healthy, sustainable lifestyle, that you can live this way forever, eating the Shibboleth lifestyle, we mean it. Sometimes these other diets, if you will, they're good for getting the weight off in the here and now, but the sustainability or the health purposes of, there's no such thing as dirty keto. When you get outside of the health parameters of what healthy fats are, and without a significant amount of exercise involved in it, a lot of those fat calories can come back to haunt you. Hence, we've got triglyceride issue, cholesterol issue. We've got some things that happen. And listen, y'all, as soon as the doctor told her what it was, she says, I ain't doing this no more. That's what she said. It wasn't like she was going to go another route and obsess and try to fix. She's like, I'm going back to Shibboleth. Never had this problem before. I've been so, and I think that's what's so beautiful about this lifestyle. When I ask that question, what motivates you to keep living the Shibboleth lifestyle? I know that she knows that it works for her. And when you have 10 pounds to lose, you lose 15. She even lost in that. What was your most weight?
I lost, the next I lost was 30 pounds.
Right. And she's like, that's too much for me.
I maintained around a 20-pound loss is what I maintained. I know that I wouldn't mind being back down to that 30-pound loss, but I kind of like to have a little fun with it. I like to holiday. So, but whatever. And I haven't committed to exercise. That's one thing. I hate exercise. But I'm getting older. I'm going to be 48 in a month or so. And so, I know I need to exercise because I'm weak. And so I can't, I'm just so weak. But I need to do something, but I have not committed to do that. But now eating Shibboleth, I can commit to do that because it does work and I enjoy it. So.
Well, I want you to tell everybody real quick before I go into salesman mode and I ruin this great interview. Why should somebody else consider Shibboleth? Have you got a line that you want to tell them? Have you got something you want to impart on? Put some knowledge down on them.
No, I mean, I think you have to be ready and you have to want to be willing to make a change. But I do also believe and I know that if you really want to lose weight, there's no way you could do Shibboleth and not lose weight. I do know that for a fact. I'd said in my story earlier, I signed up for the 8 weeks at $50 or whatever it was. Within 2 weeks, I'd already went back, signed up for the rest of the year because I knew that this was the program for me. I knew that this was, and I was all in. Lifestyle, don't say that. I mean, They had you at ice cream, didn't they? And peanut butter. I was head first. I was in. There was no getting out. And so, and it just, I mean, even like, and everybody goes through the same thing too. Like all my coworkers used to make fun of me because I was so strict and I was so far in so quickly. But they would make fun of me of, oh, can you eat this or can you eat that? Or, they'd flash a donut. I work in an office. So, a donut would go in front of your nose. Oh, maybe you want a donut. And, my answer was, no, I don't want a donut because I didn't want a donut. And the funny thing is I never ate donuts before, but after I started Shibboleth, after about a year or two, donuts are something I like to have on the holiday sometimes. And I never ate them before. Same thing with waffles. But so it kind of changes you. But what I would say, if someone's looking at this lifestyle and they're kind of on the edge as far as, is it for me? Yes, it's for you. It's for everybody because you can eat anything. You can cater the program to what you like to have. That's the reason I'm not so keen on saying I eat this, I eat that, I eat whatever, because I eat what I like. I don't eat what Jason likes. I don't eat what Travis likes or what Jonathan, Julie, Kim, Jim, whomever. I don't eat what everybody else eats or everybody else likes. Now, I think Missy and I probably are kindred spirits with the peanut butter, but, but I don't eat I eat what Amanda likes. And so I think it's important, is that if you're going to do it, you got to jump in. You got to learn the website. You got to go in there. All the categories, the food's listed. And one thing that was important for me is if I wanted a potato that day, all I had to do is go look up a potato and see what other categories I needed to combine with that to have a perfect day. And that's what I did. So, if I wanted a potato, I could have chicken breast, broccoli, and a potato.
That's
and I was good to go.
That's practical.
If I wanted a steak, I knew I had to, go in and find what would go with a steak. And that's how I learned the program. That's what I did. And I based it a lot on what do I want to eat today? And I would look that up on the website, go see what I had to eat it with. You've got thousands of foods you can pick from in every category. So it wasn't hard. It just might take a little bit of time. And once you learn it, you're set. You're good to go. And Jason's always telling me, Jason's always saying, he's going to kill me for saying this, but he shouldn't have asked me to do this interview.
Yes, I should.
Jason's always telling me, you need to do the fast track. You need to go through Kim's fast track and get your badge and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I already know everything. I don't need to do that. And so, but he's like, no, you need to go get your badge. So, maybe one day I will. Another thing is I was never a t-shirt person. I didn't want one of those t-shirts, but when I got that pink t-shirt, you better believe I was excited and I was sporting that thing around.
Yeah.
But and so it kind of changes you and you get excited about the things you don't think you would get excited about. It kind of changes you a little bit. But I think if you get in there, you give it your all, you can't fail. You can't fail. And another thing, and I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry, but I'm all over the place. I just have all these thoughts coming through my head. Is I would get discouraged because there are people coming in that needed to lose more weight than I had to lose. They're dropping 15 pounds in 1 week, 5 pounds in a week. I'm dropping like 6 ounces a week. And I'm over there whining and crying like I'm not losing weight fast enough. But, I started June 1st. I was happy by August with my weight loss. I was in maintenance way before April of 2016, which is when I officially went into maintenance because I was scared to go into maintenance. I didn't know what to do and I was scared. But I went in but with all that said, I look back and how I was whining and crying all the time, not literally. I was whining and crying how I'm not losing weight fast enough. I even submitted my journal one time and that I did not like the response. The response was give up your snack, and I wasn't willing to do that. That's one of the reasons I love the program because I could have my 3 meals and I could have my sugar-free Klondike bar every night if I wanted. I would save it for nighttime because I didn't want it.
Oh.
But in case I did, it was there and it was my prerogative to have it if I wanted. So I did not listen to that review, obviously, and I kept doing what I was doing. And I did lose the weight and I was perfectly fine with that. So I say that to say this. If you're like me and you don't have a lot of weight to lose, don't get discouraged. If you keep doing the next right thing, it's going to come off and you're going to be there before you know it. And again, if you do the lifestyle and you do what it takes, which is easy, this is the easiest thing I've ever done to lose weight. And I think that's another reason that I stick with it. Is that other than my little keto at the beginning of this year, I've been doing Shibboleth. So, it's something that you can continue to do because it's easy. It's not hard. It's the easiest thing I've ever done. I actually work with a girl, her husband's been doing this for less than 6 months and he's already lost 70 pounds. He said also it's the easiest thing that he's ever done. So, and that's what I always hear from people. This is easy. It is easy and might not feel like it's easy, but it is.
So just so everybody's clear, collectively, Amanda's been doing Shibboleth since 2015. I've been doing Shibboleth since 2013. And we both have found a way to incorporate these principles into our brain to where it becomes a part of our daily life. And sometimes we'll have program talks, questions where it's cool that we're husband and wife and we're spouses and that we get to have these conversations together outside of the interview on the interwebs or whatever. But sometimes we'll have program discussions and we'll make the best decision possible about where we're going to go out to eat. And we hold each other accountable in the sense that her more than me, because she is so good at this. Her more than me, she's like, have you had their water? That's not approved. And sometimes those, so what we do is we wind up, we shop together. And I've taught her that she doesn't have to go down every aisle when we go shopping, because that keeps you from buying the things that you really don't need that might slow your weight loss down over time, and to be more of a hunter when you go shopping. And she's taught me that it's okay to get a snack here and there, because you give it to your wife and let her hide it and then give it to you in rations. Because for me, if I get a snack, I'm going to eat it. And I've learned for myself that if I'm really wanting to focus on weight loss, I have to leave the snacks at the store until I want them, and then go and purchase it and consume it. Like the Bible says, upon my flesh, I have to consume it right then, because it will eat me alive in there in the kitchen. And the more trips I make to the kitchen, the more I hear, what are you doing in the kitchen? What are you doing in there? It's not time to eat. Get out of the kitchen. And so some of the awesome parts about having Amanda as my partner is that we live the Shibboleth lifestyle together, and she's the best. And
well, let me tell you something about this guy real quick. When we first started seeing each other and we would eat together, it's like he didn't venture out between Whole Foods. That's all he ate was Whole Foods or peanut butter maybe. And I mean, he had never tried carb quick. He wouldn't eat hemp flakes. He wouldn't eat, what else was it you wouldn't eat? I mean, all the good stuff. Carb quick, you can fry chicken with it. So, and it was things that chicken pot pie with the carb quick. And I like it. Yeah. But there's certain things that's why I love Shibboleth, is because you can substitute almost anything in most recipes and it still tastes good. The dressing, the chicken and dressing, the Shibboleth chicken and dressing, it tastes just as good as the regular chicken and dressing. Mm-hmm. Just don't use the keto bread. I did that this past Thanksgiving, tasted terrible. But with the double fiber wheat, which you can't get, so use the honey wheat, Nature's Own, 40 calorie, you'll be great.
There you go.
But it's really good. And there's lots of things. Jason wasn't a recipe kind of guy. I was a recipe kind of girl. And so I think that I've brought a little bit of that to him, although he doesn't always like all the recipes. We don't like the same things sometimes, but we like a majority of the same things.
I'll tell you one that she did teach me that I really like. It's the one with the Explore Cuisine pasta salad.
Oh, the pasta salad?
Yes, it is good. It's got an MCT dressing. Got some little black olives in there. She chops up those little colored bell peppers, because the green bell peppers give me heartburn. She puts little colored bell peppers in there. We use 2 different colors of pasta and stir them up. Man, it's so good. Oh, it's good. And it's a 1+2+ MCT pasta. So one of the things in my head is pasta, we got no white rice, no white bread, no white pasta, right? No white flour. And we start cutting those things out. Well, in the beginning, part of my brain was, I'm already not really a pasta person. I'm not really a saucy person. So I just do away with pasta altogether. Matter of fact, by the time me and Amanda started seeing each other, I'd given up on chicken breast. We dated for a year or maybe 9 months before I even ate a piece of bought chicken, took it home and cooked it. She's like, do you not like chicken? And I'm like, it was the chicken and broccoli diet at one point in time for me. So I had to expand my lifestyle a little bit within the realms of my limited cooking ability as a young Shibboleth citizen. And I had to move my way into, like Amanda, I don't eat things that I don't like on purpose. But I'm not somebody that has to have a ton of variety all the time. So, and I probably have changed her a little bit since we've been married into being more of a whole food eater, probably. And as well, to probably eat a lot of the same things a lot. I'm
Yeah.
not so sure that that's a good thing for her.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Julie really quickly. I don't know if Julie came out with this or not, but the toast with the avocado and the cottage cheese and the tomato. I'm out right now, so I haven't eaten it this week. But prior to this week, I've probably at work when I go to the office, I take my lunch with me because I don't leave normally. I have eaten that for lunch for like a month, almost 5 days a week. It's that good, and it's very satisfying. It's filling. It maintains.
So
you know,
she
my
works
weight.
5 days a week and she had it 5 days a week. So every day at work, she takes the same thing to work. Y'all, Shibboleth is so easy. It's so easy. You find something that's good and you stick with it, and you either lose or maintain. How can you not want to find your place at the Shibboleth table? I really want to say thank you. I think everybody's really enjoyed you being here. I know I have. I love you.
I love you too. I did not want to do this because I knew I'd get up here and get all chatty.
She did. I mean, there's two people I really love to see interviewed. One is Sasha Martin, because when she gets in front of the camera, she thinks she gets all shy and says she's not good at it. But let me tell you, when Sasha gets on the camera, Travis should just exit stage left. Like me, I should just get out of the way and let Amanda talk. And then Amanda is like the same. When I take her out to class, y'all, and if I say one thing wrong, she'll be like, she caught me the other day. I was teaching a class over in Chickamauga, and I said something wrong. She's like, and she caught me, and I was like, she's right. But that's the way it is. It's like, and with Shibboleth, just so you know, I think this is an awesome teaching moment as well. Just like in teaching the program, we can have little glitches where we do things a little bit different, or maybe even say things a little bit different, but the program will always write itself either in the community setting. So don't get upset if you're doing something, posting a picture or something, somebody says, hey, I think you got something a little bit wrong there. Or because obviously sometimes even I, who've been teaching this for 8 years, 7 years, I've been teaching it a long time. We make mistakes, and sometimes we combine our foods improperly. Sometimes we do things a little bit wrong and it catches up to us. We have to fix it. So anyway, I want to thank her for being willing tonight. She wasn't forced exactly, but it has been great. I want to tell you guys this while I still got you. I'm live on Travis Martin's Facebook page. It's not his personal page. It's his Facebook page, not personal page, but page. And I believe I shared it to my personal page. I hope I did. If I didn't, I'll get it out there. If you're watching this on Facebook, will you give this a share so we can get the word out about Shibboleth? Listen, I also want to tell you about our Shibboleth anniversary deal. It's up here. It's only $69 for life. You never have to pay again. If you go to shibbolethdeals.com, shibbolethdeals.com, it's a Tiger Level lifetime membership. The Tiger Level lifetime membership is everything. I do have a little graphic to share. I'm going to show you my wife real quick, her little cute self right here. But here it is. It's a $399 value, 85% off for $69 a year. It's Shibboleth's 8-year anniversary. Okay, it's our 8-year anniversary. And we have 1,000 memberships to get rid of. Okay, so if you go to shibbolethdeals.com and I hit enter, here's the deal. It says right here, there's 691 left. Okay, so we got 691 memberships left to sell that are $399 in value for $69. Okay, so if you go to shibbolethdeals.com, you'll go to this. This is a generic page. This is not my personal page. And it's not whoever sent you to this class's personal page. So what you want to do is hit view our special. You'll come down here and hit continue. And once you get into the system, Yeah, I'm already a member and logged in, so it's not actually letting me, it's not showing me how to, this is not what I wanted you to see. Sorry, phooey. Let me try that again. Let me log out and try that again. Sorry. Uh-oh. My typing skills are not the best. Shibboleth deals. Okay, so here I am back at the same page. I'm going to go to view our special. There we go. We're going to go to continue. And here it's going to ask you to sign up. So if you want a mentor appointment, somebody to help you get started through text messages and a phone call, be sure to leave this yes clicked. If you're like Amanda and you just want to dive in and you want to absorb it like a sponge, but you want to do it by yourself and only reach out when you need help, then you can click no, I don't need help, or support at this time. Fill this out. Just be sure when you get down here where it says, who can we thank for referring you? If somebody didn't send you to this class and you found it on your own, you want to put my name in, that's fine, or put Amanda's name in. It doesn't matter. But if somebody did send you here, or better yet, Michelle, if you saw somebody lose weight with Shibboleth, okay, put their name in here. If somebody inspired you to come to this class or to just lose weight with the Shibboleth lifestyle, put their name in right here on the referral, click I've read and I agree, and hit complete purchase, and continue on with that purchase process by creating a username and a password and getting started with us. We really want to share our ministry with everybody. What we didn't touch on today is that we're a ministry first and foremost. You will hear a lot of it about Jesus. You'll hear a lot about how we rely on God to help us to not do those old habits of eating whatever we want as much as we want, whenever we want. Yeah, all the time. Like Amanda says, she's a snacker. She carries good snacks with her today because we have learned how to surrender our will over to God and try to live our best life through Him. And that's what we do every day. And we just love y'all and appreciate y'all for spending time with us. And we want to thank you for being here. If you're watching on Facebook, share this. If you're in the Zoom room, thanks so much for spending time with us. We appreciate it. We love you. And I got a few messages in the Q&A telling us that you love us, and we really appreciate that. We love you. I want y'all to know Amanda's going to say something before we leave, but I want to thank Amanda for always being my helper. She's been the most consistent, loving, caring mentor to so many people. She's measured people. She's checked people out. She's taught classes. She stood in for a lot of people on the Shibboleth staff when it was a volunteer thing for her, and she's been a blessing to me. I want to thank her for that publicly too, and I know there's others that feel the same way, and I'll let her tell y'all goodbye as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for making me come and do this. No, I'm just playing. Thanks for having me. It really was a lot of fun, and just like Jason said, I would encourage you to sign up. If you have loved ones, friends, family members, anybody that could use the program, $69 is a great price. So, sign up, just do it, jump in. You can't beat the price. I paid 3 times that amount when I first started and paid every year for several years, just so I'd have access to the website. But it's worth it. It's not anything that, that I would ever take back or regret doing, because I have enjoyed it. It is part of my lifestyle. It's just how I live. I love the program, I just love it all. Focus on what you can have, not what you cannot have. There's so many things that I learned and that I just carry with me today. So I appreciate that. I appreciate Travis and Sasha, the whole team. Another thing when I first started, oh God, you shouldn't let me start. Another thing when I first started was that I did have to jump into the website or come to class. That's really all we had then. Now it's so much different, and you're paying such a small price for the program, and it's for a lifetime. But you have all the information at your fingertips, plus you have all these great mentors, or I forgot what they're called. You have all this great help, or the chat room. There was no chat when I first joined Shibboleth.
Guides. We have guides now. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't work for Shibboleth. Sorry. But there was guides. But you have all of this at your, that's just direct. It's a direct connection between you and Shibboleth. So it's great. You're not going to get that from a lot of programs that you might want to try. And, I don't work for Shibboleth, so I'm going to say this. I hope I don't get blasted, but do Shibboleth, it works. Those other things they might work for a little bit if you do them, but I don't know exactly how sustainable they are. And this is sustainable. I know that from firsthand experience. But again, thank you. I love you.
Come on, give me sugar. All right. Success. I got sugar out of the deal. All right. Y'all have a great night.